it's Nikki from Two Tribes Primal Living, and
it's me, Albert, and wanted to make a video today about some things Nikki and I have been discussing about just, everyday thoughts and things that occur, I guess not just throughout our day, but throughout our life. A lot of y'all know that we've been out here in the mountains living completely off-grid for the past going on, what is it, 7 months or 8 months? I don't even know.
it's going on 7 months.
Yeah, I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Saturday or Sunday. But yeah, we've been out here really exploring different aspects of ourselves, and we were having a conversation this morning about different states of the mind and different brain waves that people operate on throughout the day, and some states of the mind are more beneficial than others. And
some states of the mind you don't even reach. A lot of people, we'll say the globe, a lot of people, the masses, and it's kind of what spawned this. As I was sitting there this morning with him, and I said,
we were talking about meditation. And states of spirituality.
Yes, and I said the thing that I really glean from out here is that I'm able to not live in this state of stress. I think I even wrote on it yesterday, and we kind of touched on it in a video yesterday, or he did. But we, as a society, as a community, as a city, as a state, as a globe, a lot of people live in this state of stress. I mean, stressed out, cortisol, all that crap.
Yeah, worried about the bills, worried about the kids, worried about the neighbors,
worried about what you're dealing with right now with the state of the country.
Yeah, the economy, the virus,
all of that, and then what's coming up.
Yeah, all the lockdowns,
election,
people
the
have
lockdown.
People have lost their jobs. I mean, it's just really uncertain times, and it's really fucking people up right now.
So what we talked about is one of the things, Albert's mastered it, I've mastered it, but a lot of people haven't mastered it. Some people don't even practice it, is getting out of your mind and finding clarity or clearing the mind. Being able to put all those busy planning, organizing, your normal daily walk around.
What's even the shit that bombards people about, what they look like and what people think of them, and how am I measuring up to other people? Right. And there's a state of brain waves that are produced during that time, and a lot of people don't even know it. A lot of people don't even understand the different levels of spirituality or the different levels of existence that we go through in a 24-hour period.
Sure. So what he's getting at is the day-to-day operations, the day-to-day energies, the day-to-day job, wife, husband, family, tasks, all that stuff. We operate when we are in a wakeful state.
Yeah, when you're awake and walking around.
You can register beta brainwaves. That period when you first wake up, that when you're still kind of groggy, and this is where the mastery comes in, because I like to say Albert, he'll wake up, but he'll lay there for 30, 40 minutes.
Sometimes it depends on what time I wake up, and that's where I'm just waking up and I'm just coming out of
and what are you doing?
The REM sleep state or out of just a deep sleep, and I'm really connecting with that unknowing, that grogginess, that really uncertain about where I am and what I'm supposed to be doing.
Are you kind of like in an in and out sleep?
It's like state? Yeah, you're kind of in and out, groggy. And those are the times that I receive the biggest downloads of information that are not of me. I mean, they're not of something that I read or a video that I watched or something that I had a conversation with somebody about. It's something that comes from within, and it's where I process that information, and once I'm fully awake, it's like, whoa,
then you're in beta.
Yeah,
once
then
you're
I'm
fully
in beta,
awake,
and then I'm starting to talk about
what he
that's
experienced.
the consciousness. So it's almost like between the conscious and the subconscious
Yeah.
is where I find myself in the morning. I'll just lay there. I don't get up. I don't get up to pee, or I don't get up coffee, or I don't get on my phone or
He
anything
doesn't
like that.
talk. He doesn't. I can hear usually your sinuses when you blink your eyes. I know he's awake, but I don't bother him. I don't disturb him in that time. And
That's that time of collecting before the day starts, and a
yes,
lot of people don't do that.
no,
They got this
jump
goddamn
right out of
alarm
bed.
going at them, and they jump out of bed, and they're stepping on the dog, and stubbing their toe
Smart
on the
guy.
edge of the bed, and knocking shit over, and they just start their day just like
So
that.
what that is, that means they bypass. And what Albert described is alpha. That's alpha brain wave, or that's an alpha state. Let's just call it an alpha state. When you wake up to that sudden alarm, and you're one of these people who get out of bed first thing in the morning, that alarm goes off one time, you're up, you've got lights turned on, you're taking a shower, you're slamming things around, you're bright. You go straight from your sleep state, probably theta, because you're coming out of that sleep in the morning. And what it is doesn't matter. It's the sense and why it's so important. You come right out of that sleep state and you go into this beta state. You bypass the connection to higher self, to peace, to calm, to connectivity, to kindness, to compassion. All of those things exist in that alpha space. So when you just jump out of bed, he doesn't jump out of bed. I don't jump out of bed. I lay there for a bit. To him, I probably look like I jump out of bed, but I've been awake well before he has. And that being said, our brains in that alpha state, when we're waking up, and it also applies to going to sleep. That alpha state is that time when you get in bed and you're falling asleep, or you're fixing to take a nap and you're falling asleep and your body gets warm and you feel so cozy. That's that alpha state. And that's when you're most receptive to connection.
It's when you're connected. It's between coming into the mindful and physical world and coming out of the soulful part of your existence. I mean, I didn't discover that until we came out here, where we actually go to sleep with the cycles of the sun.
Down.
The sun goes down, and we go to sleep.
Yep.
The sun starts to come up, or you start to hear the birds outside, or you start to hear, the woodpecker or something, or even the wind sometimes can be enough to start to gradually bring me out of that sleep. And I never experienced that in living in the city. There's always, car engines and motorcycles and trains and helicopters and ambulances and fire trucks and somebody knocking on the door. So people don't actually get that opportunity in regular city life or apartment life or family life to actually experience that coming out of a deep sleep, and then peacefully waking up and understanding that, wow, I'm still connected to soul right now. I am in a mindful state, but yet I'm still in that soulful state.
Why is that important? And what we've been talking about lately, about the dissociation between our soul and the physical body, that they try to drive a wedge between us. Why is that state so important?
Well, because you actually get to experience who you are as you were created. I mean, we often think of ourselves as this meat suit, this biomechanical suit that we walk around in, this host body. But none of this would exist or function or even matter if we didn't have that eternal energy, that soulful energy that defines us, that brought us into this experience.
And when you say define, he's not meaning defines you as a physician, or
No,
defines
not
you as a nurse, or
not even a mother or father or a husband or wife.
Nope.
I'm talking about your
soul definition,
your eternal
your purpose,
definition,
your genuine purpose.
Yeah, and most people don't know what their purpose is, because they've become part of this cycle of work and kids,
living in beta. That's beta. That's
all beta.
Right.
And those are all beta brainwaves, and that's where sickness and anxiety and addiction and inflamed egos and opinions and all that shit. That's where all that lives. That's what creates that. And if you never really get to connect to your soul, I mean, I'm going to talk about a little bit about, why people have been disconnected from their soul and why this isn't important to some people, and they spend hours and hours and hours in meditation or listening to self-help tapes or videos or reading books or reading hours and hours of Bible study scriptures and becoming part of self-help groups and all this other stuff, and you never get to experience who you were intended to be or what your meaningful purpose is because you just, as soon as you get out of bed in the morning, it's go, 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 go. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have to work and you shouldn't have to take care of responsibilities and all that shit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at some point in your life, at some point when you're on your spiritual walk or your self-discovery or your self-improvement as an ego or as an individual, you've got to understand that your soul is more important than the physical body and the mind. It is more important, but the mind is what generates all these brain waves. The mind is what deciphers the five senses: your eyes, your ears, your smell, your touch, and your taste. The brain processes all that. So, when you look at the power of the brain and the fact that we only use just a small percentage of it,
small.
some people even use a lot smaller percentage of it. And that's, but it's that soulful connection that I never got to experience because, like I said, when you're living the
Well, you're conditioned. You're
Yeah.
conditioned from the time you're born to get a job, go to college, go to school, do something that impacts the bank account, and have a nice car and have a nice. I mean, all those things.
You live to impress people.
Exactly.
When the fuck do people live to impress themselves?
And their
And I-
soul.
Yeah, I'm not talking about getting a new car. I'm not talking about
No.
having the nicest clothes that money can buy and walking around with the most expensive products or material items that are on the shelves. I'm talking about, when do you actually look in the mirror and it's just you, and it's just no material items.
And you're happy.
And you
with
look
what
at yourself
see.
and you go, fuck, I'm badass. I am a badass motherfucker, and I'm enough.
Right.
In part of my video that I made yesterday was about that. It was about, buying expensive gifts for people because you fucked up or you don't feel like you're enough, or raising your kids in a way that actually spoils them, or when you're sitting on the couch and you're bored and you're not okay with being alone. You're not okay with being by yourself.
You need to get on your phone and start
Yeah,
texting
you get
friends
on-
because you're stuck by yourself.
Or you go and you interact. You go to a bar, or you go and spend
Yeah.
money that you don't have, and you create all these problems because you're not enough. You're not okay with you, and it costs you. I mean, it creates stress when people
is beta.
aren't enough. Yeah, and that's all.
All that
That's
is
all
beta.
generated by the brain. It's all
Yeah.
a brain wave. But if you could find a way to just kind of relax yourself and slip into and do it regularly, do it.
It's it's kind of like weightlifting or whatever. Let's say you're training for a meet. You can't just say you sign up for a meet or register for a meet and then you just show up and lift. You have to train for it to do your best.
You have
correct?
to train for anything.
You
Yeah.
have to- exactly. So this is no different. This is a process of. It doesn't have to be every single day. There's no like, oh shit, I forgot to meditate this morning or wake up. I mean, life happens sometimes, and I'm somebody who wakes up earlier. I've learned in the past 2 years to carve out. So for 2 years, I've been successful at this. I was a get up at 8:30, 9 o'clock person. I made myself get up at 5. I started setting my alarm for 5, started getting up at 5, started setting my intention for 5 so that I could carve out that little extra bit of time just for me. You have to carve it out for some. Some are granted it, some have to carve it out, but it's important to find that time. And the reason why it's so important, so we talk about all the negativity or the stress or the day in and day out that it divides you from your soul, because you mostly, I'll say most of you were raised that way. I was raised that way. He was raised that way. You have to find a way to A, put the kibosh on it, and then B, heal yourself. So how you do that is once you find that alpha, that way to get your brain in an alpha state, and you start connecting and you start and he's a prime example, I'm a prime example of it because we're both masters of it.
I used to not be able to do it. It
Yeah,
was
me neither.
impossible.
Me neither.
Even meditation, it's like I'm gonna go sit over here for an hour, in or 45 minutes and just be by myself, and here comes a fucking train, or here comes an ambulance, or
Right.
and
Or
it's
the
like,
phone rings,
or the
or-
phone
yeah.
rings, or somebody's beating on the door, going, "Hey, what the hell?" You know, and it's like out here, it just
Yeah,
happens.
so it's easy for us. It is easy for us.
It is now.
But now we understand it. And if you can get into that alpha and you can allow yourself that time, you start creating things in your brain and activating those brain waves that allow you to heal on a cellular level. And I
And
say
what
that.
happens when you heal? And that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, is what
So
happens.
you hear the
when
word
you heal.
you need to heal. You hear
You
that
know,
thrown around a lot, right?
Healing is like, oh, I need to heal. I'm sick, and no, I'm talking about you need to
Soul?
heal soulfully from
Yeah.
the worldly, physical, material attachments that have gotten you to the point where you are no longer who you were meant to be. You have been separated from your true self into your egotistical self.
Right.
And I can sit here right now after, you know, just being out here 7 months, and I can look around me. You know what's not around me? The people that I used to be around, who influenced me, the people who used to make me feel like I was less than, the people that I would try to compare myself to, the people who
You should be more like him.
right now, yeah, because he's a lawyer, and he's a
got a
doctor,
nice
and he's got a
car.
nice car, and
Yeah.
oh, his wife is so nice, and those
Such a happy
people.
couple.
Those people are the people that are still on my social media accounts that think I'm the same person that
They don't know you.
they knew. That guy's gone. That guy's been gone for 3 years now, and there's a new creation walking around this earth right now. I am who I was intended to be. I don't ask permission to be me. I don't ask for approval to be me. I don't look for acceptance to be me. And that's what happens when you heal. That's what happens when the world, the physical, nonsense filled world, no longer has a hold on you. And it all comes from just connecting with your soul, connecting with those brain waves, connecting with the energies that are there, either all around you that you can't see because you only use a little part of your brain, and there's so much more out there that you can't see, or from what's within. And you know, I can preach about how all the answers are within, but you know, healing. What has healing done for you? What is the healing freed you from, or where are you at in that process?
It's and I'll try to keep it really small and simple, but part of what I'm writing right now on my Patreon page is my story. And in that, I wouldn't be able to write that story as I experienced those things without going, what a bastard, or, you know, this asshole. I wouldn't have gratitude for every single person and every single experience that I've had as either a lesson or a blessing. You know, a lesson or a blessing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to rhyme it. Not a rapper. So that being said, healing for me has allowed me to see every interaction, whether it can be deemed as positive or negative, as a lesson or a blessing to me as a person, to my marriage. You know, as a couple, it's really hard for, I think, other individuals to understand. you have us, and he used the term, yeah, or the description yesterday as two feathers. The left wing and the right wing are of the same bird, and he was talking in a negative sense about that. But the left wing and the right wing, I am my own wing, and he is his own wing. But we come together as a bird, yes? I mean,
Yes.
and so
Connected by energy.
if his wing is broken, how do we fly? If my
circles.
wing is, we fly in circles. If my wing is broken, then how do we fly? And so both of us have learned to go within and connect to that alpha brainwave. You know, it sounds so funny. You got alpha and beta and theta and blah blah blah, but it's so important to
You
get.
know, those that came from somewhere. Those words came from somewhere.
They did.
They didn't just
Make
you know,
them up.
They didn't just make them up.
So how has healing helped me? It's helped me repair my wings so that I can fly as a whole bird and not stagnate the bird, not harm the bird, not put the bird in harm's way for predators and environmental things. So yeah, that's how healing has impacted me.
You know, another. I was
You laughed.
cutting up wood earlier with the chainsaw, and it just allows me to enter this state of mind that is pretty much all I got to do
in
is
the
make sure
present.
I don't cut my fucking leg off or something. And I was cutting tree branches, and I'm thinking, you know, one of the things that I've actually embraced or have been able to embrace being out here, and I mentioned a little bit of it yesterday on yesterday's video, was the morality, because I can now connect to my soul, and I don't just have to answer to somebody because it's demanding and I won't get paid if I don't do this, or I'll get kicked out of my house if I don't do this thing. One of the things that I've really been able to connect to is integrity and my morality. And I know a lot of people are spiritual people or religious people, and they go to church and they like to be seen giving the envelope, and they like to be seen opening a door for an old lady or an old man, or they like to volunteer, or they like to give prayers on social media, and we often forget that that's not morality, that's not integrity. Morality and integrity comes from when nobody's looking, when not one fucking person is paying attention to who you are on this planet, and where you are or in life. It's what you do when your husband's not there. It's what you do when your wife's not there. It's what you do when nobody else is around, just you and yourself, and you know right from wrong, and you know that I'm in my own mind, I'm in my own world, I'm in my own creation, and my integrity is more important than being seen or being heard or being talked about
Or being validated.
yeah, being validated by people that I want to validate me. And you know, that shit doesn't go very far, because you know, you just look back at any part of your life and where those people used to be, and
They're not
some people
there.
have lifelong friends. I've never experienced that, because I've always just been a little bit out there for most people. But because I didn't understand that I was on a journey, a very personal spiritual journey, and now that I'm here, my integrity gets to shine. My integrity, my morality doesn't allow me to bring harm to others intentionally. You know, if I hurt somebody, that's your fault. You should toughen up a little bit, because my intention was never to hurt anybody. You know, I have a son that doesn't even speak to me. You know, it's been 3 years that my son hasn't spoken to me because of who I used to be, and I can't help that. That's no longer my problem. That's no longer my issue. That's his perspective. That's his journey, and that's his.
And you're not
His
sad.
no,
and you're not angry.
and I'm
you're
not beat up.
and
I'm
he's
not beat to
up.
hell. I'm living my life as it was intended to be, and it took some bumps and bruises and some figuring out and some shit. I guess I am off my path type lessons where it's now about me. It's now about my journey. It's now about my soul, my integrity, my morals, and the morals not that aren't written down in a book
It's a moral
somewhere.
code. It's
Yeah.
a personal moral code.
Well, it's the laws of the
universe,
universe
yeah.
and the laws of nature. Everything else is something that has been man-made. The laws that we follow, and you know it's wrong to steal. You know it's wrong to take things that don't belong to you, or
Cheat,
talk shit
lie.
about people,
Yeah.
or wish death or illness on somebody. You know that's wrong. Nobody has to tell you that. And if you don't know it's wrong, you're a really fucked up person, and you need to go within yourself, because that's not normal. It's not normal, and but that's the way our world operates today, is through division. And so, we can all sit around and we can talk about our victim states, and we can talk about our victim challenges, and we can talk about how somebody's coming to save us and we need a savior, and all these things that have nothing to do with you and your existence. And it all just comes from within. It's being mindful of who you are. It's being mindful of who you were intended to be.
And he used the word. I don't think I've used it yet. It's mindful, being mindful, mindfulness. It is about connecting to the soul, using those brain waves.
The soul is wise. I mean, your soul, you can be
Yes.
the dumbest person on the planet, but your soul is so wise. It is connected to,
It's funny.
it is funny, but your soul is so wise, and most people have been separated from it
Yeah.
through television and entertainment and stress and sickness and all these other
Because they're in
things.
beta
Yeah, because they operate in
Yeah.
this beta brainwave
all the time.
all the time, and they never get out of it. Wisdom, and we're going to start to close this video. Wisdom is something that benefits all. The soul knows this. Spirit,
Is wisdom emotional?
the creator, huh?
Is wisdom emotional?
No, it's not. You take the emotion out of any situation and you can solve any problem.
Yep.
The creator is wise. The creator was wise in creating us. The creator created our soul. This physical world that we live in, man is creating this. Ego is creating this. Darkness is creating this, and it's creating all the negative bad things that are around us, but it's also creating the good positive things that are around us. But it
But who are
seems
you
like
responsible for?
for you,
Right.
and you're responsible for that wisdom, you're responsible for that integrity, you're responsible for that morality. And that's what's wrong with the planet right now, is nobody is taking responsibility for it. They're waiting on somebody to come and save them, or they're waiting for some politician or some savior to come fix it, and they're going, where is God? Well, I don't know. What are you doing for self to bring that goodness into the world? And a lot of people don't understand this. They
No. They're seeking without.
yeah,
and
they're
not
seeking
from within.
without more money, more material items, more praise, more acceptance.
The saviors, the people.
More recognition
Yeah.
for what you did, that
Validation.
while everybody was watching. And I'm sorry, but that's not the way. And I had to figure it out. I had to come all the way out here into the
To figure it out.
wilderness
Yeah.
to find that. And I can't say that everybody can do what I've done. It's kind of hard, but but you got to think about the lost years of Jesus. Where was that dude at?
Indentured servitude.
Where was Jesus at those lost years? He was doing some
What did I say this morning?
self-discovery
This is
time.
kind of this, and that's exactly it. This is kind of a summarization. I don't want to go into the woods for 13 years like
No.
Jesus Christ and sit and be silent
Yeah,
and not
eat
talk
rice
and eat a handful of rice
eat
and
a
maybe a
handful of
fruit
rice
and meditate every day for hours and hours and hours. I want to experience the creation
Yes.
that my feet are on. I want to experience people in different spaces. And I can't do that if I'm not right in my energy and I'm not connected to soul. That doesn't mean coming out here for 7 months, 8 months, 10 months, 2 months, however long you choose to go and
Yeah.
sit and be as organic and raw as you can, your brain has a chance to clear itself.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And but you know, it's hard. But
It is
you
hard.
know, if like I said, if you live in the city, or if you live in an apartment building where the people are upstairs, or
the kids are
stomping on the floor, or got their radio turned up, and you're trying to
Yeah.
find yourself, there's nature all around you. It's there. You just have to find it, and you have to
Just
connect
don't
with
go
it.
to the beach.
Because those vibrations are the true vibrations of this planet and this
Yes,
existence
yes.
of this physical planet. And if you never connect with them, you're going to be a fucking wreck. Your life is going to be challenging. You know, we have natural bodies. We have organic bodies that weren't designed to take in chemicals and radio waves and all these you know, signals, electromagnetic fields that come into our
They're poison arrows. They're
our
toxic
systems.
arrows that are shot at us from all directions.
Yeah, and even the brainwashing that goes on TV and you know,
Social media, TV, church. There's a lot of places that, that put that out there.
So find a place of peace. Find a place where you can connect. Find a place where
Consistently, train consistently.
even if it's in the morning.
Yes.
You know,
carve out extra time like me.
turn off the phone. Turn off the Wi-Fi receiver.
Super important. That's super important. Is to not
that shit fucks with your brain
when
too.
you wake up first thing in the morning and you reach over on your nightstand and you pick up your cell phone and you start scrolling or looking at emails or answering texts,
or you
first
turn on the
thing,
TV.
or you turn on the
and
TV,
start watching the fucked up
the
news.
radio, you start turning on those stupid LED lights in the house, then you're instantly in beta. You can't connect.
Yeah.
You can't. So find that time regularly, daily.
Daily. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. And like I said, we make these videos. What do we know? We're just two people out here in the woods trying to figure out life and trying to figure out our purpose.
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too. I'm happy like Eeyore and Droopy.
He is. And I'm happy like Snow White.
Yeah, so like, subscribe,
Notification button.
drop us a comment,
Yeah,
and
please.
let us know what you think.
All right.
Take care.